What's going on, champs and champets? It's FireMonkey here, and in today's YouTube video, we have to talk about Fortnite Shattered, the live event that will be happening June 5th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll be telling you everything you need to know about this live event, such as what to expect actually happening during it, and even why it's being advertised the way it is, as well as not only the teaser that we've already seen on social media, but the teaser that they've gone ahead and posted in the in-game newsfeed that might be different for everyone, because, you know, some people get certain news feeds while others get other ones. So let's dive into everything. Firstly, by the original teaser we ended up getting earlier today by Epic Games. On Twitter at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, they went ahead and stated, June 5th, your team changes your experience, doors open at 6:20 p.m. Eastern Time, and the fight begins at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Doesn't really give you too much information, but it does tell you, hey, stuff's about to go down. If you chose Team Ice King, you're on Team Ice King. If you chose the Foundation, you're on the Foundation's team. There's no takesy-backsies or anything like that. You're either going to be destroying the Foundation, or you're destroying the Ice King. And it's definitely a pretty interesting concept to see them do. You know, it's a pretty interesting way to have a live event because it means that you're going to have a different aspect to it depending on which team you chose. It also makes me wonder how it's going to work if you play with your friends. You know, you go in with like a full squad of 4 and some people are Team Ice King, some people are Team Foundation. Will you still be in that same squad, or will you actually be split up while being in the same server in order to allow your rivalry to take place in the live event itself? Imagine being able to verse your own friends during the live event. I know in the past we've had kind of like miniature versus matches where you'd be able to like compete for a higher score in mini games, but we never had one in a live event where it was actually you versus your friend in order to see who's the better teammate. Now, this wasn't the only teaser we ended up getting, because we also got a little bit of extra information from the in-game newsfeed. Just moments ago before I started recording this video, they actually ended up adding a new set of strings that state the following. The future is decided in Fortnite Shattered. The rivalry comes down to this. There can only be one winner. The Fortnite Shattered Season 2 end event kicks off June 5th. Doors open 6:20 p.m. Eastern Time, and the fight begins at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, this doesn't really give us that much extra information, but I think it still gives us like a significant amount of what's going on here, because it mentions that, you know, there can only be one winner. The rivalry comes down to this, you know, you're going to have the future being decided by whichever team ends up winning. Now, a few things I want to mention about this whole entire rivalry system and about this live event is, firstly, I don't think it's related to the actual score numbering. If you guys are unaware how it's going to work when we get to the epilogue, is there's going to be one final reward that you'll be able to unlock after like another 170 million points or something like that, and that will be the epilogue variant. Now, the interesting thing about it is, based on how it's set up right now, there actually is a chance for both the Team Foundation and Team Ice King teams to get the free reward, or being the actual variant, assuming that they don't end up stopping the count once one person actually gets there. And if we end up tying somehow, both teams could actually get the variant at the same time, meaning both Team Foundation and Team Ice King could get their variant unlocked, assuming timing works in everyone's favor, which would be a very interesting way to play down the epilogue with a complete tie after Ice King basically dominating the first 3 acts, with, you know, Team Foundation typically having an early lead on those acts. But I think regardless of which team actually ends up having the most rivalry points at the end of the epilogue, I think this live event is going to be a little bit of an interesting plot twist, because I have a feeling that it's going to allow us to have either team still come out on top regardless of the point system, based on overall contribution during the live event. So, you know, I assume it could be like a massive Team Rumble type of match, you know, like a 50v50 with respawning enabled or something, but like a worldwide type of 50v50, where sure, you only see like 50 enemies in your match, but the score goes up across every single server, and when one side reaches a specific score threshold, that team is considered the victor, and we end up having the whole entire live event, you know, cutscene, cinematic, all that type of stuff going down. Now, something else to mention here is that we're also going to be seeing a new version of the Dark Voyager during the live event, which is fully affected by the cubes, so he won't really have, like, you know, the like astronaut armor or anything on him. He will be, as we kind of showcased in the most recent like all cosmetics added video, in this full cuboid form. You know, he's going to be heavily yellow. He's going to have a lot of just square things going on with him, you know, a lot of cube aspects and everything. And it'll be interesting to see how the rivalry shapes the actual live event, because, you know, when it comes to like the Ice King, for example, he is trying to work on the side of the Dark Voyager, as far as I'm aware, in terms of some like the in-game questline stuff. But at the same time, we've had some theories in the community that the whole entire Dark Voyager aspect is kind of going on behind the scenes, while Team Ice King versus Team Foundation is actually a distraction for everyone on the island from what's actually happening. And then the Dark Voyager could cause like a cataclysmic reaction that would make it so regardless of what team won, it doesn't really matter. Both sides could be dethroned at the end of the day. I definitely think it's interesting to see how they're starting to hype up the live event. Now, this does mean that if you try playing after June 5th, the servers most likely will be going into an instant downtime until like a day later for when we get the next season, or midnight when the next season files actually release. So it could be a little bit of a downtime period after the live event just to kind of discuss and talk about it with your community or with your friends or whatever. But there is a lot of stuff they're building up to. There's also been some leaks and rumors here and there about jetpacks being used, about a cinematic being confirmed in there, which we kind of expected anyways, Dark Voyager using that new style, Team Foundation spawning at the mountain base, and more. So there are some little glimpses and pieces here and there, but I definitely think we're going to be getting a 0.01, or I guess 41 update for this season that adds the final pieces of the live event as we get closer to the actual launch of it. So definitely stay tuned for that, and keep in mind, you know, like a few days, or I guess like a week before we actually get this live event to go down, you'll be able to have the community day where you'll be able to grab yourself some free rewards. So if you want to hear more information about that, check out yesterday's video. But until next time, hope you champs and champions enjoyed today's upload. Hope you're excited for the live event. If you want to see the VOD of it once it goes down, make sure to stay subscribed to this channel, because of course, as usual, we'll be showcasing it for you guys. And with that said, I'll catch you champs and champettes next time with another upload. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, and peace out.